Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA.
Turn to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Myles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Cook. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point up and good by Folk. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
first carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He's got this to Williams, complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Colin Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no thought of a return here for Hines. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out at his current pace. Sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14 games.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
Harris running straight ahead. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Justin Herbert looking to pass. The quick slant caught. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jameson Williams from 6 yards away. And the Lions have taken the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And here's a leaping catch. He pulled it in. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find Anthony.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
But Charles, as a defender yourself who made a few of those plays back in your day, I know you know there's no better feeling than a pick 6 for a defender.
And the big thing is when you take it and you realize you're out there and you've got a great chance to score, not to get overexcited and have one of the yard lines trip you up, or the turf monsters we used to call it, knock you down before you get to the end zone. That didn't happen on that play. He carried it home.
And no thought of a return here for Hines.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
7 yards there and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in enough.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
Trayvon Walker, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7, our score.
On second down, Cook. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but Did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Herbert's throw complete there to Johnson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
On the give, this is Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25.
And now out comes Minnesota.
They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. They juked him. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 29, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or 2, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Cousins.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the...
a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Marcus Davenport. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack.
And this is taken in at the 5. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Herbert. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half, Cousins. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to halftime.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that. But one of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player. And he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things. And he incorporated that into his route running.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Herbert back to the air. Quick completion here to Johnson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Back to throw here, Herbert. Flushed out right. And Herbert going to slide to a stop, and he has a first down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. It's their quarterback, scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no thought of a return here for Hines. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 101 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, and he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down Vikings.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And Detroit getting set to go now. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play action. It's Herbert. Flush to his right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trayvon Walker able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. They hand this off to Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Damian Harris, 30 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Patterson now for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago.
As they just add on to their big lead.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll dump this off to Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's Cousins.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play there for Detroit. 47 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Herbert on 1st down now. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
The lessons will continue. This rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing, but clearly there's some growing still to do.
And he gets this up just shy of the 15.
112 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, what was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing, Cousins.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing is Cousins.
Open man, it's Rager. He's got it.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. High throw, but the catch is made.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cousins to throw it.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To throw, Cousins. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Folk connects on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
This one fielded at the 5.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now it's Herbert. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position.
One last shot now for Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from